Come make my workout schedule with me. So I have a competition happening in October, and now I'm starting to build back up my stamina. I've been practicing technique with my partner for about 3 months now, so now we're increasing our practice time and getting a little bit more nitpicky about everything because we're getting down to the wire. But also, because we're increasing our practice time, I need to make sure I'm building up my strength and my stamina to be able to match the intensity that we're going through and decreasing my risk of injury or re-injury. So, this is what we're doing today. For those who don't know me or who are new to my channel, welcome. I am the Najwa Deanna, aka Dr. Bourne, naturopathic doctor in Toronto, Canada, and going through my own injury journey. This series is about taking you along for that journey, and as well as teaching you the principles I've learned along the way. If you've liked what you've heard so far, please hit that like button, subscribe, and follow along. So this is a relatively new concept in the dance industry world, but there's more and more research coming out about how important it is to do cross-training with your dance technique classes as well. I did a video before about the importance of improving your endurance training and stamina while you're dancing, and I'll link it in here. And one of the concepts that came out in the research was HIIT training, high intensity interval training. And so I'll be incorporating that into my exercise plan that I'm creating for myself for the next month. So this video is going to be talking you through the process I go through when I'm creating a workout plan for me. And there are 4 factors that I usually think about. And those factors are where I am in my female cycle, my current injuries and the rehab plan that I have in place for them, my timeline and the milestones I'm looking to hit within that timeline, and my training schedule, i.e. when I have my technique and dance classes. Those all play into when I have the time to be able to do my strength training and my cross training, because I need to also incorporate the technique classes that I have to do to make sure I'm maintaining my skills to be able to perform at the way that I want to, but also balancing it with the ability to maintain my muscles and my cardiovascular health so that I can actually perform the way that I want to and make it feel effortless and easy, just as I want it to look. So now it's time to create the schedule. And usually I do this on the fly or in the notes section of my phone, but I want you to actually see the process, so let's rearrange some things so I can actually put this on paper. Is positioned so that you can see what I'm writing as well. So the factors that I'm considering here: 1, my cycle, where I am in my cycle; 2, my rehab and injuries; my timeline and the milestones that I'm looking to hit; and 4, my training schedule for dance as well. As of this week right now, September 12th, I am at ovulation, which means I am mid-cycle. Camera's not working. Rehab injuries I'm currently dealing with are my OA and ankle tendonitis. My timeline is 3 weeks until LA, which is what I'm training for. And my training schedule, I dance Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Which means if I want rest day to be Sunday, which I probably should do, then strength training and other training should be Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if these are my goals here, and I'm midway through my cycle means that I am now starting to go onto a downward slope in terms of what I should be doing. So I should be looking at maintaining and working more on like the endurance stuff, not necessarily hitting any PRs, working on endurance, either muscular or stamina. I'm watching for hip and ankle, so I'm going to be doing lower body movements. I need to make sure I'm doing my rehab exercises for my core, as well as now working on ankle mobility and calf strength, which would actually be really beneficial for dancing anyways. I'm going to be dancing in heels, and I need that proper mobility and proper stability to be able to maintain myself in my heels for a long period of time. I have 3 weeks. In these 3 weeks, I want to make sure that I am working on that stamina and that endurance, because I need to make sure that I'm able to dance for as long as I can. I'm going to be focusing a lot on hip training for these next 3 weeks and going until fatigue with my sets and reps. And when I think about that, I think about high reps, low sets. I am not doing a very good job with this camera. And again, thinking Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays and Thursdays, since I'm only doing it 2 days a week, these exercises are going to be full body. Now, when I'm thinking about doing full body exercises, there are 5 movement patterns that I need to make sure that I'm hitting each time that I do these exercises. And that is push, pull, squat, lunge, and a hinge. You can really see like it splits into upper body and lower body when you're doing this. But right away for a hinge, that makes it a little bit easy. I want to make sure that I'm working on my mobility and definitely working on hamstring strength. Something that's really good as a hinge movement in terms of this would be deadlifts. Deadlifts would be definitely something that I want to do here. Single leg split lunges I think would be a good one. I'm going to do sumo squats because it works on the turnout, which will also be helping with my hip movement, the hip mobility. Sumo squats, but you know what? Because we want to work on our cardiovascular work and our stamina, splits, sumo squat jumps is what I'm going to do here. In terms of the pull movements, I want to make sure that I'm also targeting my back muscles when I'm doing these pull movements. So I'm going to be thinking about rows here, because that will be working on my triceps as well as my lats, which will be really important for my dance movements. And then with this as well, thinking about being able to hold my posture properly and hold my frame, something like a deltoid lift would be really great here too. Or angel wings, that's another word. Angel wings, that's another term for it. In terms of push, that's also good for my frame, but also something that'll just really fatigue me. And something really simple as push-ups. Not a move that I love, but a move that is very, very easy to do in terms of structure. Not necessarily the movement is easy, because it's like the simple ones have a lot of technique to them to make them really good, but I'm going to be doing them, and this is just going to be an exercise that's good to push me to fatigue because it's not complicated. So I have the 5 exercises that I'm going to do in my workouts for the next 3 weeks. And I probably also want to throw in a couple core exercises into here as well. The core twists. Doing these core twist exercises will make sure I'm getting that full range of motion while I'm doing different poses while I am dancing, and making sure that I'm not ending up cramping in my sides while I'm turning, because there's a lot of positions that are not necessarily positions that you would usually do in your day-to-day that you need to make sure you can have nice twisting motions, especially since in dance you are dancing a lot and moving separately the top part of your body and the bottom part of your body. Really throwing some planks in there too, because again, we're going to fatigue here. Now I have my 5 core movements. I have 3 upper body exercises and 3 lower body exercises, plus 2 core exercises. So this is going to be my workout for the week, and now I get to structure it in terms of the reps and sets that I'm going to do. Upper body workout exercises include push-ups, 1 arm rows, and angel wings. Lower body exercises include sumo squat jumps, split lunges, and deadlifts. core exercises, which will be the core twist, plank sequence, and I need to add in my physio rehab exercises too. And then a stretch session / cool down. So how I usually like to do my workouts is I will pair an upper body and a lower body exercise as one set, and then that's when I will have my rest times in between. And how I have them lined up seems pretty good. So I'm going to do push-ups with sumo squats. I'm going to do one arm rows with split lunges, and I'm going to do angel wings with deadlifts. To be going from bigger muscle groups to smaller muscle groups to more detail / deadlifts is also kind of going into core, so it'll feed right into when I'm actually doing core work as well. Each exercise is meant to be going into failure, so I'm going to be doing it more of a HIIT kind of style, high intensity interval training with 30 seconds on and 1 minute off to give myself enough of a break in between, because I am going to failure. So I need to make sure I'm giving time in between to replenish my muscles before I do my next set. I'm going to be doing 2 to 3 sets for each. And you might not think so, but 30 seconds is actually a very long time. And I'm giving myself a minute as a break to make sure that I'm giving myself a minute as a break to make sure, again, I'm replenishing my muscles, I'm drinking enough water, and I'm getting that rest in between to be able to go as hard as possible again for the next set. Because if I'm only giving myself a 20-second break, which is usually like a 30 seconds, 20 seconds on, so that each cycle is about a minute, that is commonly seen in HIIT, but also I need to make sure I'm not causing too much stress on my body as well. And so that's why we have a little bit of extra rest time. So there you go. That's going to be my workout for the next 3 weeks. As I get better, this rest time may or may not change. We'll see. But for now, it's going to be 1 minute. One last factor that I need to make sure to mention is the sports nutrition that goes around all of my training days. But not only the training days, but also my technique class days as well. Every time after class, especially after intense practices, I make sure I have myself a protein smoothie with at least 20 grams of protein to make sure I'm replenishing all of those proteins that broke down while I was practicing, and I'm supporting myself through the recovery process. And that goes the same for the days where I'm in the gym. I'm making sure to hydrate myself with water throughout my workout. Only water because it's not more than 90 minutes, so I don't necessarily need those electrolytes added, but I'm having my protein smoothie afterwards. And I'm having a protein smoothie because that's easily digestible. Because we want to also make sure we're keeping in mind that our digestive tract doesn't have as much blood flow going to it because it's going to our muscles. So we want something that's easily digestible, so it's not going to cause too much discomfort going through.